Alright guys, welcome back to another reaction video. We are going to react to Cozy, VTubers aren't your friend. Yeah, just gonna react to that. So before we start the video, first my opinion. No, we are not your friends, cause like, I don't know, I don't like using the word friends, cause like, a friend is somebody you know on a deeper level, and that really isn't the case with like any content creator. This is not just a VTuber thing. This is content creators in general. Content creators in general aren't your friends. But we're not strangers either. It's like the where how do I put this? The borders of like friend and stranger are kind of like mixed. I maybe you put I think you could put VTubers as like acquaintances. Could that be? I think closer. Like not friends, but you know that person in some way, shape, or form. You know what I'm getting at? Yeah, let's just hear Cozy's opinion.
You know, I seriously had a guy tell me that he was Pecora's friend because Pecora says that she doesn't really have that many friends, so all of her fans are her friends. I really didn't think that this was something that you had to say to people, but just because a VTuber says on stream, "Oh, you're my friend," and then
Yeah, it's not just that. Like, let's think about the implications of that first. They could also mean, like, imagine you go out there and tell your viewers, no, you're not my friend. Especially in a space that is so parasocial. Um, yeah, that might actually hit really hard. That person hit really hard. So like, it's kind of weird in a sense.
never DMs you or never says anything to you ever again doesn't mean that you're friends. Hey, what's up? I'm Cozy. If you don't know me already, I am a certified friend hater. No, I'm not. But listen, have you ever tried to make a lot of friends in the VTuber community? Have you ever noticed that it's kind of hard to do that? And have you ever
No, I've not tried. I do my own thing. Like, I interact occasionally with like some people on Twitter, but like, I have not collaborated with anybody. I just do my own thing. And if somebody doesn't like that, well, not my problem. But like in general, eh, mm, no, I have not attempted to make friends in here.
noticed those people who make lots of "let's be friends" posts on Twitter or like other
It's engagement bait. It is absolutely. I have never seen in my life, and I'm part of the Dokkan community, and they engagement bait quite a bit. I have never in my life ever seen that much engagement bait. It is crazy out there. It is insane how much engagement bait this really is.
other places, and they have a whole list of people that are writing in, "Hey, I want to be friends," or like DMing them or adding them or whatever, and then they answer maybe like a percentage of them, maybe like 10%, 5%, something like that. Listen, I'll say this
0%. Because let's be real, most of that is in fact engagement bait on Twitter.
once right at the beginning, right? There are a lot of people in the VTuber community that are actually really good at dealing with massive amounts of people. There's a lot of people who actually genuinely like all of that interaction, and there's a lot of people who do create those posts with finding friends in mind. But a lot of the time, the draw of
That is not the feeling that I get. That is absolutely not the feeling that I get. I see so many people complain about others on Twitter. So many VTubers complain about others on Twitter. Following and then stop following after they got refollowed. Just for collabs. Stop talking with each other because the other person seems to be more successful. I have seen it all. I've seen a lot nowadays.
VTubers is commercialized friendship. So the idea of being friends with a VTuber is kind of something that a lot of people are really excited about. They really want to make a lot of friends in the community. They find somebody and they really think, "Oh, I really vibe with them. Like their content is something that I really enjoy and I really want to get to know them more. I really want to talk to them more. I want to be in their space all the time. I want to play games with them."
But why is this like this? Why is it like this? Because when we look at other spaces, like where it's not VTubers, there's not that crazy of a parasocial aspect. Sure, there is like people who are absolutely parasocial about it, but like I wouldn't say that like flesh tubers, regular content creators. Well, is a VTuber is technically what is it? Is a VTuber is also a normal content creator, but in other spaces that are not VTubers, it doesn't hit that hard. So, but even like for male VTubers, it doesn't hit that hard. That parasocial aspect. I watch a few male VTubers, but like I don't get that parasocial in general. But like it's a lot less with male VTubers, even more so. So I am actually. I have the theory, and this might be a hot take, but when looking at the space, it is mostly female content creators with mostly male viewers. And the male content creators also have mostly male viewers. So I think the parasocial aspect is infinitely multiplied by the fact that this is a VTuber, a female VTuber, I'm a male viewer. Oh, she seems interested in the same things as I am. She is also kind of, let's be real, most VTubers are kind of like social rejects. And like, she's like me kind of thing. She's like me for real, for real. I would say that they're male on male. There is not that much of a like attraction. But like female content creator, male viewer, there is some form of attraction. And I think not enough people actually acknowledge that in this space, that this happens. We can, for example, let's look at VTubers, for example. I would say around 80% of their viewership is only there because they're addicts or they want to sleep with that VTuber. That is a harsh pill to swallow, but it does seem like that. Because when we look at like content creators who like VTubers who stop being LootTubers, they receive massive backlash. When we look at VTubers who had an OF, well, or just general content creators who had an OF, and they stop doing OF. Again, massive pushback by the viewers. It's just a thought that I have. That is parasocial aspect is infinitely like larger between male viewer, female content creator. But that's just me.
I want to collab with them. I want to do things with them, right? But unfortunately,
Especially since
a
like
lot
men
of
are in kind of a loneliness crisis. Especially when it comes to like intimacy and stuff. Uh, and like the same thing happens in like the ASMR community. I've seen a few things like
the
yeah.
time, being a VTuber is about trying to make people have that kind of connection with you. And honestly, I feel like in a way, being a streamer is about trying to have people make that connection with you. I think
Yeah,
trying
yeah.
to become friends with your chat or like
Is being a VTuber specifically about that? Because I haven't changed my behavior at all. Look at Dokkan videos a year ago. Look at Dokkan videos now. I haven't changed a bit. So like, I have not attempted that. this could also be a result of a lot of VTubers trying to fit everyone. Just my opinion, though.
Trying to be friendly with them, trying to be in their lives, trying to be that space that they go to every day and where they interact and hang out every day is something that a lot of streamers really want. Because if you get that out of a community, then you basically have won. Honestly, if you get a community that really enjoys being in your presence that much, then you have created a space that is ideal for commercialization. Now, an ideal situation for commercialization doesn't mean that these VTubers don't care about you. It doesn't mean that they're sitting there and they're like, "Ooh, I can't wait to get more money out of my fans. Oh, money, money, money." They're not sitting there being freaking Mr. Krabs, right?
Some VTubers, like, you can clearly tell that they put on a fake persona, which is why we have so many bigger VTubers getting slapped the moment they slip up. So I do think, like, it's mainly like those, oh, we're all cozy, we're all nice, we're all good little people. That's the one that actually just are after your attention.
But a lot of VTubers are thinking for their longevity. They're trying to create an environment where they will succeed and they will continue to grow and, people will continue to push them. They'll show their friends like your content and stuff like that. They will make friends in the community with other people so that they can, they can hang out in voice chats and stuff all the time.
Me who doesn't do that whatsoever. Yeah. The slime prince avoids every VTuber. I only interact with pre-debut VTubers, practically. If we look at it, if I look at it like that, I only interact with pre-debut VTubers. So, like, yeah,
But a
it's
lot
kind
of
of
the
like
time, a
I
VTuber is
exist.
trying to create a community that is based heavily around them and about like what they like and about, people really enjoying them and wanting to be with them and wanting to support them and wanting to be in their presence.
Exactly. Support me. Subscribe to this channel. uh, no, you don't have to. But it'd be nice, it'd be nice. And like the video, you know, I'm trying to build something a little, so I could provide more content. But like, yeah, because she is correct in the aspect that you want to make this successful. And I'll be honest, I admit I want to make this successful. Like, sure, I'm having great fun, but I also want to make this successful and turn this eventually into a career. Um, but the difference, like, to me and others is that I do not try to hide that fact. And a lot of smaller VTubers do try to hide that fact. It is when I realized that first when I looked at graduation announcements from smaller VTubers. They are all structures in the same way. They all have kind of the same wording. I want to chase my dreams, and I just don't have time for VTubing. And I'm like, I am 100% sure that your dream was to become a successful VTuber. And when you realize that it takes a lot more time and a lot more effort than you anticipated, that's the moment you stop. That's also the reason why many VTubers stop even before they hit the 2-year mark. Just look at small VTubers and their graduation announcements. Look at how long their Twitter account has existed. Most of these, 2022, 2023, 2024, most videos don't survive even up to 2 years. It's like odd, but
This,
sure.
unfortunately, comes across a lot of the time.
I'm not saying that all smaller VTubers that quit are quitting because they don't get successful fast enough. But I'm saying that there's a bunch of smaller VTubers that definitely do it.
And
Because of that
VTubers
reason.
like saying, I want to make friends. Oh, I really want to make some friends in this community. Where are all of my friends in this community? Or things like they will play games with you in chat. They'll like get in calls with you in your Discord server or stuff like that together. And then you'll play maybe Genshin Impact. You'll play
Ugh,
like, Helldivers, whatever.
that's cool. No
After you
longer. Helldivers is basically like, man, Sony, what did you do? And then the developers themselves nerfing the weapons and all. Oh my god.
do that
They
sort of stuff, that does not automatically
straight
mean
into
that
the
you are
wall.
friends with this VTuber. Even if you have a friendly connection, even if you are enjoying each other's presence, even if you like each other, that does not automatically make you friends with them. After somebody
Again, I think the word acquaintance is like it doesn't feel perfectly fit. Like it doesn't fit perfectly, but it's like, how do I put this? It's like, you're not friends, but you have a connection in some way, shape, or form.
showed
I,
me
I don't
some
have
of
the
their
perfect term
videos
for
recently.
it.
I have been watching a lot of Core of Midas's videos, and this is something that they talked about too, where, you are not friends with a person. You're not automatically friends with a person just because you're friendly with them. You have to have more of a connection than that. You have to have some standards. You gotta, not only for like the
A friend, somebody who has no friends. A friend is somebody that we are friends the moment you take a bullet for me and I take a bullet for you. When something happens to any of us, everything gets dropped and the focus is the friend first. Like, I need that really, really, like, almost like family like connection to consider somebody a friend. I will not get that in the VTuber community. That will not happen.
VTubers. The VTubers have to have standards for multiple reasons, but like you as a person that is trying to befriend these VTubers, you have to have standards for yourself. You have to sit here and you have to think about the fact that
Well, that's not
these
about
people
me.
aren't DMing you.
I'm
They
not
don't care about
trying
your personal
to
lives. They will play
make
games with you
friends.
sometimes, but that is about the extent of your interaction. Or like
You
maybe
know,
you'll interact
and
with
that
them
may
on
be
stream.
harmful to like growth and stuff, but I just don't care. I just want to do my own thing, build my own little community, build my own support squad, my own little kingdom, and yeah, that's just it.
Sometimes, but that is also the extent of your interaction. They are only communicating with you in public. You probably don't know a lot about their personal lives. They're probably hiding a lot from their fans for their personal lives. There's maybe some lying about things in their personal lives, you know? Like, I actually know a lot of VTubers who have relationships and
I'll be real. Ask me anything. I won't lie about it. I will not answer questions, but I will not go out my way to lie about it.
aren't telling you about it. Because of course they're not, because why would they tell you about that sort of stuff, you know? And this isn't really a situation where I'm like outing those people by just saying, oh my god, I know that they're in relationships, because like, you don't even know who I'm talking to, you know? You have no idea who I'm communicating with in my personal life. You have no idea how many DMs I'm getting a day. You have no idea anything.
Zero. I get zero DMs. And if it is a DM, it's usually a bot or somebody trying to scam me for art. And then they get a picture of Waluigi.
About me as a person, and you only know about the things that I put on social media as me being a VTuber. Social media, and especially content creation, are spaces where we are putting the best of ourselves online.
Was machst denn du? Wieso denn? I would say that the space in general is like way too parasocial for what it needs to be. Also for indie VTubers, like maybe I'm because I'm not like that social. I don't quite get it. Might just be me though.
A lot of it is heavily curated. A lot of the interactions that we have are heavily like restrictive, or like maybe we won't interact with somebody who we think is going to bring down our interaction numbers.
I'll be real. Here is nothing. Nothing is curated here. Nothing is curated here. If I have an unhinged opinion, I'm gonna say that unhinged opinion. Not even the Lord could stop me. I am dropping unhinged opinions if I feel like it. And nobody can stop me from that. Zero people. Zero. Nobody. But I do think that a lot of people like self-censor themselves because like they don't wanna get into drama. They don't want their unpopular opinions to like um have a backlash or anything, have negative consequences. I don't care about that. I don't care. And since we are on unpopular opinions, here I have an unpopular opinions. Here do I have an unpopular opinion. I do not like VTubers, and I will block almost every single one of them. There is a rare instance where I do tolerate them, but for the most part, I will block you. Yeah.
Or maybe has said something controversial in the past, or et cetera, et cetera. There's a lot of calculations behind things that mean that like we're not showing you an authentic version of ourselves, because this is for a lot of VTubers, not all of them, not all of them. There's a lot of hobby VTubers too. A lot of VTubers make this into a business. So this is their job. This isn't like a for fun thing. This isn't.
Here's the business for us here on this channel. I give you content, I give you some laughs, I entertain you. You give me your attention. That is literally it. I'm even questioning the fact if I ever do get in the position of having merchandise, if I would want any merchandise. Because like, I think it's an what? I think it's an equal exchange. You get some laughs and joy, I get my attention. That is the currency we run on this channel.
And they try to interact with the community and they try to make friends. This isn't something where they're going to conventions just because it's fun. It is fun in a lot of cases. They are enjoying it in a lot of cases. A lot of the things that people stream.
I'll be real, you will never see me at any convention. I can almost promise that. You will never see me at any convention.
You know, you talk to and stuff like that, you're still enjoying it, but that does not mean that it's any less of a job. And I think it's really important to point out that you can be friends with people that you work with. You can be friends with your coworkers and stuff like that. People do it all the time. You can go out to drink with them, you can have a good time with them, they can become some of your best friends in your entire life. But
for me, it's not too much about business. The moment I can go full time is the moment I'm completely happy. I'm completely content. The moment I can go full time is the moment I'm completely content. I don't need any more than that. Others would like to disagree and would like to grow even further, but for me, that's like happy life. The moment I can go full time, happy life.
That doesn't mean that you're automatically
like in a
friends just because
aspect.
you're in the same space and you're interacting at the same like location. Imagine, for instance, a streamer is like a bartender and you go to the bar every day and you talk to them and you maybe form a connection with them. They're riffing off of you, they're making jokes, they're having a good time. That does not necessarily mean that you are their friend off hours. Because on hours, they have to be charismatic, they have to put on a good impression, they have to try and make you want to be there, they have to be friendly with you, they have to make you enjoy your time there. Because realistically, going to the bar is paying their bills.
And I think that's my problem as to why I would grow slower than others. Because I do not make the attempt to make myself as appealing as humanly possible. I do not care. I just want to enjoy. And if you enjoy also, what's the harm? But I'm not going out of my way to like tailor myself to become this perfect like personification of somebody you want to watch and want to spend time with. No. I don't attempt that. The only thing that I would say that is fake, that I am faking, essentially, is being this, like, talkative. Because in real life, I'm not talkative. you have to pull out everything out of my nose to get any information about me. Like, but like that's like the only thing I do. But everything else, I would also talk in the same way in real life. Maybe that's also why you follow me, why you guys follow me, because I try to be a lot more authentic. Like I'm not attempting to create the perfectly curated person for like online persona for growth.
It's not something that like
Because
you
again,
can't ever
if it does slip up, people are gonna cry on Twitter. So why not lead with? I am very blunt, so I will lead with that. So nobody can complain afterwards.
make any friends in that sort of situation. Obviously, bartenders have become friends with their patrons before, you know? This is not something that is impossible, but you have to think of it in a more realistic way, right? These people are there to make you entertained, to make you have a good time, to enjoy your space, and they're not there to then like talk to you when your girlfriend breaks up with you, or like to console you when your grandpa dies, or to talk to you about the controversial political situations of the moment. They are not in.
No matter how big this channel will become, if I get a DM, I will answer that DM. I may not answer it immediately, possibly, because like eventually we'll not have time for that. But I will answer DMs if I get one. That won't change. I will that will never change. I will answer DMs.
Interacting with you in your daily life. They are only talking to you on a very superficial level. Now, I'd like to add on 2 points here. One is that technically, for some people, maybe that is friendship. Maybe for you, that is how you make friends. Maybe you don't like talking about those sort of more personal things. There are some people who just don't want to talk about their deeper inner thoughts. They just want to have something that is more basic and on like a not really a deep level, but like they're enjoying their time and stuff like that. That's fine. You can have those sort of situations. Just make sure that whoever you're talking to is okay with you calling them a friend in that sort of situation. And make
Disagree. Heavy disagree. That is, I would say that is unhealthy. Because like, if you consider them a friend, and they backstab you, you're with that kind of superficial friendship, you are only harming yourself. Do not consider anybody you are casually interacting with a friend. This will backfire.
Make sure that you have the same level of expectations for this friendship. If this is something where like the friendship is just a superficial sort of like, well, okay, I'll stop saying superficial. It's okay for you to have like just friendly acquaintances without talking about deep stuff, and those can still be.
Yeah, but that's not a friend. No, that's not a friend. That is an acquaintance. You may know a few things about them. You like going to talk to a doctor and you talk to the like secretary. That is what I would consider an acquaintance. You see her occasionally, maybe outside, maybe like at the grocery store. But you don't know her on a deeper level. You may know where she works, but like that's about it. Like that's not a friendship.
Friends, right? But you have to make sure that you are on the same level of expectations. Me personally, to call somebody a friend, I need to be okay with like interacting with them on a personal level. I need to be okay with talking to them about like, you know, really important situations in the content
I've
sphere.
said it before. For to become my friend, you would probably almost consider be like family to me. Which a lot of people are not up to that. That is too much expectation.
Okay with telling them about things that I've been dealing with my personal life, how I've been depressed, how like all of that sort of stuff. I don't really talk about that sort of stuff with my chat. I don't talk about that sort of stuff with my fans. But I do talk about that sort of stuff pretty regularly with people that I consider my friends. This sort of thing isn't necessarily for everyone, but it's important to keep in mind that you need to make sure that you're on the same level of expectation with each other. My second point kind of plays off of the first point, but my second point is that
Hmm. I do talk about in videos what's going on inside that brain of mine. So I do not. If I feel like trash, I will tell you about it. Because I don't have people to vent to, so like I will tell you about it. Or if I'm struggling, I will tell you about it.
even if you're on the same level of
Again, I don't
expectation of
try to
you are
hide too
friends, like
much.
you are agreeing to that title, you need to make sure that you both have an understanding of what that friendship means. I had a situation well, I've had two situations actually, but one specifically. I had one situation where I called someone a friend and I meant it. I think that they were one of my friends. But unfortunately, they had a different expectation for what a friendship should be. They felt that I should be playing games with them. They felt that I should be talking to them constantly. They felt like I wasn't interacting with them enough, so that meant that we weren't actually friends and I was just lying to them and stuff like that. They felt like I was angry at them, that I hated them, when it was realistically just me getting really busy over time. I personally am someone who
Understandable,
is
yeah,
introverted.
yeah.
I am someone who is autistic. I don't really interact with people unless I have something to say to them. And I need to have like a topic to actually initiate any kind of conversation. If I'm not initiating that conversation, that doesn't mean that I hate them.
If I consider somebody a friend, I hit them up daily. Like, just to make sure that they're okay, that they're fine, that they're doing well. Yeah. If I consider you a friend, you will hear from me daily. Even if you don't hit me up daily, I will hit you up daily, just to check in. Like, just something like, hey, how are you doing? And like, you doing good? Stuff like that.
Them.
And if
It doesn't mean
everything's
I'm angry at
alright,
them, but it does
great.
mean that I don't have anything to talk about in that
And
moment,
if
which
something
isn't
is not
even a
alright,
bad thing. I don't
I'm here
even
to
think
listen.
that not having something to talk about with your friends is bad. I don't think you don't have to have constant things to talk about with them, right? Sometimes you have things that are more in common. Sometimes you have situations where you're both watching the same anime, you're both playing the same game, and you could talk to them a lot more. I go months or even sometimes years without talking to some people that much because I just don't have anything to say to them in the moment. But like they'll DM me or something and they'll be like, "Oh my God, look at my dog. Isn't it so cute?" I'm still friends with them. I'm still happy to interact with them. Or like I'll DM them and I'll be like, "Hey, look, I made this thing recently. Isn't it cool?" That's fine too. Right? Like, you have to make sure that you're on the same level of expectation with a person for how much you're interacting, what you're going to do together, what being a friend means.
I
If you
kind of
think that being a
agree.
friend is constantly being in calls together, constantly playing games together, talking about all of your innermost secrets and stuff like that, you need to make sure that you're not trying to befriend a person who doesn't like talking about any of their innermost fears, who doesn't want to play games with you, who doesn't have the same taste in games with you, who maybe just doesn't play multiplayer games. Like I play mostly single player games.
That's gonna be a struggle for collaborating ever, because I don't play multiplayer games whatsoever. Not even a little bit. Not even a tiny little bit. I don't play multiplayer games. Period.
That doesn't mean I hate somebody. It just means that I'm not realistically going to be playing games with them. And if that's how they define a friendship, that needs to be said or needs to be communicated in some way before you go on to saying, "I can't believe you hate me," or like subtweeting them or saying some shit about them as a person just because.
I don't get subtweeting. If I have a bone to pick with somebody, I will mention them. Uh, it's again this video overall just reminds me of how shallow this community really is.
Because they're not interacting with you in the way that you want. It's okay to have standards for relationships. It's okay to want things that other people don't want. If you really need your friendships to have you playing games with somebody or you interacting with them constantly or them being in your DMs all the time, that's fine. you can have those friendships. You just have to make sure that you're not thrusting that expectation onto someone unexpectedly without them knowing that that's what you want from them. You have to be clear about what you want if you really want like a friendship to be something that is like bigger, or that you want to succeed, or that you want to last for years or something like that. If you really care about a person that much, you need to put in that effort to say, hey, this is how I define a friendship. Is this how you define a friendship? And you have to talk about this sort of thing. I think that
This is why I won't make any friends here. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I won't be making any friends here, because a friend to me is almost family. Like, you become so close to me that you are also my responsibility. And like, I will also take care of you, even financially. Well, if you're ready to take care financially of me. Like, if you are a friend of mine and you are, like, you have some financial shortcomings and you can't pay bills, I will help you. I just expect the same from you, and like, it's difficult to define, really. Like, it's almost like it is really almost like family.
if you're not having
I
this sort
won't
of
be getting
conversation with
that.
a person,
Not
then you
not in this
can't really
space.
like sit there and be upset if they're not DMing you all the time. You can't really sit there and think, oh my God, I can't believe they aren't doing X or Y or Z with me. They're not really my friend. They may think they're doing fine. They may think that they are your friend. And if you don't have that same level of communication, maybe you're just not that compatible as being like closer friends like that. And that's okay too. It's fine to try and like make those relationships. And maybe you don't want to have that conversation with someone. Maybe you would rather you just have it develop naturally. Maybe you just don't want to have that talk and you would prefer that it just happens. If it doesn't happen, you shouldn't be angry at them for it not happening. You should just say, oh, okay, well, that relationship.
Not really angry, just like, you don't want to really talk to me, you don't hit me up at least like once a week. Bye. Don't care.
Didn't
Move
really work
on.
the way that I wanted it to. I didn't really get what I wanted out of that. That wasn't as fulfilling as I wanted it to be. And you have to move on yourself. You have to put the onus on yourself to give yourself what you think that you need to move on if you don't think that something is working. This is already almost a 15-minute video, so I will try and get my last point out as quickly as I can. If you
Say it.
really want to be friends with a content creator, you have to realize that they may not have that same desire. They may have too many friends. They may be getting like 50, 20 even, 10 even DMs a day, and maybe that's too much for them. Maybe they're already trying to form these deeper relationships and they don't really have time for the like not as deep relationships. Maybe they just want the deeper ones and they don't necessarily want to like try and reach out and like talk weather or something with somebody. Maybe they don't want to have that sort of like learning experience about somebody else. Maybe they're not in the mood to try and connect with somebody new. You have to realize that content creators are constantly getting like showers of DMs. And I'm not talking about the people who are like under 1,000 followers or something like that. I'm talking about the ones that are, 2,000 and up. Yeah, hell, even people who are 1,000 and up sometimes in terms of followers. You're getting a ton of DMs. If you're doing commissions, oh my God, you have all of those commission DMs. If you're taking like if you're trying to go and get art done, you're getting DMs for the people.
I'll be honest. Just be straightforward. Just be straightforward. If somebody like wants to be your friend and like you just don't have time for them, just say, I cannot be friends with you. I just don't have the capacity for that. And if the person does not accept that, block.
People who you're commissioning. You might be doing events.
Well, that's the funny part. A lot of these content creators are scared to block people. They are even scared to ban people that treat them bad in their chat. Or that overstep the boundaries. Because Oh no, it's another VTuber.
If you're
I
joining
cannot
into
ban them.
events, if you're hosting events, if your friends are doing events, if you're helping to plan for events, you might be getting all of those DMs. Maybe you're in a group chat with people who talk about doing games every other week or something like that. Maybe you're not even necessarily like interacting with them that much and joining in on those group games, but you're still getting those DMs. They're still flooding your inbox. Maybe you're talking to companies. Maybe you're working on merch. All of this stuff tends to bog.
Again, I have no opinion on this because, like, I am solo leveling. This is solo leveling, the VTuber version. We are solo leveling here. So, I guess she's probably right about all of this. Again, I have no idea. I don't do any art stuff. I just create content. That is literally all I do all day. I just create
Up
content.
a content creator's DMs. So if somebody doesn't respond to you, if you're trying to be friendly with them, if you're trying to become their friend, if you're trying to interact with them constantly and stuff like that, if they don't say anything, that doesn't mean necessarily that they are angry at you. That does not mean that they have some sort of problem. That doesn't even mean that they don't want to do whatever you're proposing to them. Maybe they didn't see it. Maybe they're
I would say, and again, this is again probably something very controversial. Do not attempt to be friends with content creators that you like. You can enjoy their content, you can enjoy their presence, but like, do not attempt to be friends with content creators. The only way you could possibly become a friend, like as a regular, not as a not content creator, but as a viewer, if if you want to become a content creator's friend, you could probably do it via having like doing art stuff for them, doing like that kind of stuff. Maybe being a mod, you could possibly like achieve that. But like, other than that, like I'm not attempting to like be friends with content creators I watch. I don't do that. That'd be a waste of time. I could never get close to like. It'd be ridiculous to attempt to like build a friendship with somebody like, I don't know, who do I watch a lot? Like Kirsche or Pippa. That'd be ridiculous to attempt that.
too overwhelmed. Maybe they'll
It'd
get
be
back to you some other
pointless
time.
even.
There's a million different things that could be going on in that content creator's head. I think that in the end, you have to keep in mind that these are people who have a million things going on at once, and
I
they
don't.
have to do pretty much all of
I
it
don't.
all on their own. They have to do all of
But I'm
it
also
by
too small.
themselves. So if you're not getting what you want out of a relationship, move on yourself. Don't think anything terrible of them. Don't like try and subtweet them. Don't tell all your friends, oh my god, I tried to become friends with them, but they were such a bitch. They did not answer me at all. They didn't listen to any of my DMs. They didn't even want to hang out with me. Nobody cares that much. Nobody is thinking about you as much as you are.
Basically.
So if
Yep.
you are sitting there and you're thinking, oh my god, they hate me because of something that I said, most people aren't even thinking about it. Most people aren't even trying to think about it. Most people have too many other things going on in their lives.
Well,
To
except if it's like something really big. Like I criticize VTubers all the time. Maybe not all the time, but like once a month, I shit on VTubers, and like that even pushes away the wholesome, in quotes, wholesome VTubers
really be actively trying to hate on you. Now, you might notice
trying
that
to
some
avoid me.
people are clearly trying to avoid you, or like clearly anytime you enter a room, they're gone. That's something that you can deal with on your own. You know, there's many reasons why that sort of thing would happen. You can there's social stuff is hard. Being autistic is a fucking pain in the ass. Point is, just try not to assume, and try to keep in mind that there's only so much capacity that these content creators have to even make friends. And they're probably trying their best.
Being autistic just adds to that. I'm not autistic, but I struggle with social situations. Because, like, people are not aware that being social, especially extroverted people, are not aware that being social is a skill. And if you don't train that skill, it will deteriorate. It will fall apart. Like me, for example. I consider myself, because I grew up a lone wolf, and like all things need to be done by myself. No help. I can do this myself. That has kind of created like what I call social retardation. That's how I identify myself. When somebody says, if they think I'm neurodivergent, I'm socially retarded. That skill is bad. I have not cultivated um, a level of that skill that is usable in most situations. That's what I call it. Yeah.
And they
But
probably
I
don't
but I imagine being autistic does add to
hate
that.
you. And try and keep like a positive attitude about it, right? Don't try and think, oh my God, I can't believe X or Y. Just think about it as, oh, okay, that didn't really work. I'm gonna move on for myself. I cannot believe that my first 20-minute video is about friendship. Of course it's gonna be about friendship. Of course. Of course, the one thing that I struggle with the most is gonna be the
Funny. The first video I react to that I struggle with is about friendship. Well, for her channel in this
thing
case.
that I have enough opinions to say
Yeah.
about it to fill 20 minutes of time. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it maybe helps to encourage you to, you know, try and think for yourself, try and focus on yourself, try to help yourself, try to be
I'm
good to
focusing
yourself, and
on
try
myself all the
to like
time, so
have some
like
more standards for
I'm
your
just
own
doing my
friendships
thing
and for things that
at
you
this
want out
point.
of friendships. And yeah, I hope you guys have a good day, and
Yeah. And I hope you guys have a great day as well. That's it for the video. I agree with some points, and I disagree with some other points. But that's just the view of a social reject, so I don't know. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed the reaction. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.